Hello, everypony. So 2 years ago, Ian got White Rabbit Fest for the first time and I did a card analysis back then. I don't know if I'm going to get into the habit of redoing or updating every old analysis I've done, but with a new card getting added to the mix and also that guy just being really old and I do stuff different now, I figured I might as well just make an updated guide. So here we are. Let's just jump right into this and start off by talking about our freebie cards for White Rabbit Fest, Silver, and Ortho. Silver is a rare defense unit. His max HP is 8,406 and his max attack is 3,613. Currently, his HP is above the rare average and his attack is below. His spell 1 is Fire Shot and his spell 2 is Water Shot 2. How useful is this card going to be in exams? Here's my rankings. For floor exams, I'd give this card an F, B for Fire, and X for Water. For skills, he's got HP regeneration and damage boost. The really annoying thing about Silver is that this is a card that needs a lot of investment, which we'll talk about when we get there, but on spell 1, he starts out with nothing. He only gets a minor HP regeneration for 3 turns at level 5. Spell 2 is basically the same. He starts out with nothing, and then at level 5, he gets a tiny damage boost to caster for 1 turn. His only buddy is Epel with a modest HP boost. In order to groovy Silver, you'll need to get him to power level 20 and vignette level 2. Grooving will cost 1 rabbit costume. He'll need 0 to 40 are awakening perfumes to fully uncap him. Each uncap costs 10 perfumes, so the more copies you have, you'll be using 10 less perfume. You can get extra copies of him in the event shop in case you don't have or, don't want to use perfumes. Or if you're playing this event for a second time, the game will give you another copy just for reading up to a certain point, so free Silver, 2. Spell 1 will need a total of 237 bunny headbands, and it'll cost 39,700 thou marks, and that's to, max it out fully. Spell 2 needs 336 bunny headbands, and it costs the same as Spell 1. In order to make him a permanent member of your card roster, you just need to finish the event story. I'm gonna be honest, this Silver annoys me a little. Well, it's not exactly annoyance, it's more disappointment, I guess. I find it incredibly disappointing that 1, he needs to be built to get healing instead of having it right off the bat, or honestly any of his skills, and 2, he's not actually that strong of a healer. According to the Twist Gameplay Tumblr, he's actually the second lowest amount healer for our cards. He's not in the 10 lowest heals for, all cards. There are some healers that are worse than him, but, it just sucks that you have to build to get that healing, and then it's not even that great. I think I would be more okay with it if Spell 2 had something right off the bat, but it doesn't, and that just makes me a little more irritated, so yeah. And listen, I know this sounds sacrilegious coming from me of all people that I'm complaining about healing, but it's disappointing. I think healing is a great thing to have, and I think having healers maxed out is a great thing to have, but I have to admit the Silver doesn't feel like a must-build sort of event card, especially if you hardly ever use Silver. I use him a lot, so I'll be building him, but I'm not going to be super happy about it. Anyway, to fully switch gears and stuff, I know he's a freebie, so the market for dupes isn't exactly strong, but for what it's worth, here are 2 comparable rare cards. First up, PE Uniform Idia. This Idia has Ruggy as a buddy instead of Epel, and he doesn't have any healing, but other than that, very close to Silver. Second one is Masquerade Riddle. They're both defense and both have HP regeneration. The only downside is that their elements are switched around, but still, they're fairly similar. Ortho is an SR attack unit. His max HP is 7,670 and his max attack is 5,342. Ortho's attack is way above the SR average, and as we can all guess, his HP is massively below because of that. His spell 1 is Leash Shot and his spell 2 is Water Shot 2. Now, let's talk viability in exams. I'd give this card an X for Flora exams, F for Fire, and B for Water. For skills, he's got Power Boost and Damage Cut. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn. At level 5, it's modest. Over on spell 2, he starts off with a tiny damage cut to foe for 1 turn. On level 5, it's minor. His buddies are Deuce with a modest power boost, and Malleus who gives him a minor HP boost. So, let's switch gears and talk about building this card. In order to groovy Ortho, you'll need to get him to level 30 and vignette level 2. Grooving costs 3 rabbit costumes. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 40 SR awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 10 perfumes, so the more copies you have of him, you'll be using 10 less perfume. Remember though that 1, you can get extra card copies in the event shop, and then also, if this is not your first playthrough of White Rabbit Fest, then the game will give you another copy of him for reading through the story. Now we got spells, and this is, to max them out. Spell 1 needs 408 bunny headbands total and 79,400 thou marks. Spell 2, on the other hand, needs 582 bunny headbands. It costs the same as spell 1, though. To make Ortho permanent, you'll need to finish the event story. You'll also need to earn a certain amount of bunny headbands. For the first JP run, it was 800. I don't remember how much it was on EN the first time around, but EN is far kinder when it comes to amounts, so I don't think it should be 800, but just keep in mind you will also need to have a certain amount of headbands in order to, keep around forever, and also finish the story. And also, that's only applicable if this is your first time going through it. If you've already read through this event and stuff, you're fine. But if this is your first playthrough, keep that in mind. Building this Ortho annoys me much less than Silver, and frankly, I don't have too much to say about this Ortho. He's got ordinary skills. He's got skills right off the bat. Yeah. As mean as it is to say, there's just not a lot of remarkable things about this Ortho card, whether positive or negative. Again, like Silver, I don't imagine too many people are trying to find similar cards to Ortho, but I'm gonna tell you who's similar anyways. First option is Ceremonial Robes Malleus. Malleus doesn't have damage cut, and both of his buddies are different. However, I will also say these two could, go into a team together, since Ortho does have Malleus as a buddy. But yeah, these two are fairly close. But yeah, if you don't have Ortho, Malleus could kind of fill his shoes. Another comparable card is Bean's Camo Jack. They're both attack and sort of have the same spells. Ortho's doesn't grow like Jack's does, but close enough. Like Malleus, Jack has different buddies. He also has different skills. I have no idea why, but honestly, it was kind of difficult finding similar cards to this Ortho, even though he's not, that remarkable or anything. But yeah, Jack has power boost instead of damage boost. I did the best I could. That covers our event freebies, so let's move on to our gacha cards. This time around, there's going to be two gacha banners, one with Deuce and Epel, and the other with Floyd. We'll go ahead and cover Floyd first, since he's on his own solo banner, and he's also the new unit. Floyd is an SSR defense unit. His max HP is 15,829, his max attack is 4,474. This Floyd is actually fairly impressive when it comes to the HP side of things. His HP is insanely above the SSR average, and yeah, his attack is way below, but that HP stat though, he barely misses out being in the top 10 highest HP in SSRs. He's ranked 11, but he does rank when it comes to exams, or at least how I rank for exams. Yeah, you guys know. He's 9th in my top HP, great for Flora exams tier list. His spell 1 is Flame Blast, his spell 2 is Lee Shot 2 and later Force Strike 2, should you choose to build it, and his spell 3 is Void Shot 2. When it comes to exams, I'd give this card a B for Flora exams, D for Fire, and B for Water. For skills, he's got Power Drain, Power Boost, and Evasion. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Power Drain on foe for 1 turn. At level 5 it's Modest, and he also gets a minor Power Boost to caster for 1 turn. He has nothing on level 10 though. On spell 3, he starts with a minor Evasion to caster for 1 turn. At level 5 it's Modest, and like spell 1, there's nothing on level 10. This card doesn't have a vignette, it has special furniture that gets unlocked with a vignette level. So level 1 is his outfit on a mannequin, level 2 is his special frame, and 3 is the Heart Trumps Trap. His dual magic partner is Silver, who gives him minor HP and power boost. His other buddies are Vil with a minor HP boost, and Sebek, who also gives him a minor HP boost. Building. In order to groovy Floyd, you'll need to get him to level 40 and vignette level 3. Grooving will cost 5 Tailfin candy. For uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfume, so the more copies you have, the less perfume you'll be using. Now we got spells. Each spell needs 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 318,000 Thalmarks. Spell 1 needs these in red items, spell 2 needs green, and spell 3 needs white. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thalmarks. So, if you don't manage to get this Floyd, what are some alternatives? First up, Birthday Boy Kaleem. They're extremely close to being twinsies. The only differences are skills and one buddy. That's it. Everything else is the same. Well, except stats, but stats matching isn't really a thing in Twist. Second choice, Soomsitter Leona. He has the same type, spell 1, spell 2, and 2 skills as Floyd. His stats are also fairly close to Floyd's too, so that's a major plus. But the downsides are that spell 3 isn't the same, they have completely different buddies, and Leona doesn't have evasion. Oh, and although he does share power boost and power drain, they don't align perfectly with Floyd's, but still though, a pretty solid option. Birthday Jacket Vil is an alright alternative. He's the same type, same spells 1 and 2, has Silver as a buddy, and has power boost. but he lacks that Void Spell 3, his other buddies are different, and he doesn't have Evasion or Power Drain, although he does have Damage Cut. Vil isn't my favorite choice of alternative, to be honest. I think for a constant card, sort of, Kaleem is a far better option, but this Vil will do in a pinch in most situations. Apprentice Chef Rook is an okay SR budget option. He's defense, fire flora, and he has power drain, but everything else is different. He's kind of the only SR budget option and the closest I can get right now, which is why I'm not really, thrilled about him, but like, he'll do. As much as I love my little freak though, I kind of like PE Uniform Silver the best as a budget option for this Floyd. Their defense, fire flora, have Vil as a buddy, and have power drain. Silver's HP is also not as comparable to Floyd's. I guess that's the best word for it, I don't know. Silver's HP is fairly high for a rare card. He's like rank 21 in highest HP for like rare cards, which is high, but it's not as high as Floyd's 9th place, you know what I mean? He also lacks those other skills. But when it comes to an all-rounder, I think Silver hits more notes than Rook does. Sorry, Rook. Overall, to me, HP is really the most impressive thing about this Floyd, and he's going to be giving some fantastic HP padding to teams. His evasion is really nice too, as has this void spell to make him a little more flexible with exams. This Floyd is super solid to me, and I really like him. Epel is an SR defense unit. His max HP is 13,082, and his max attack is 3,509. Like Floyd, Epel has some pretty great HP. It's massively above the SR average, although it doesn't rank in anything, and because his HP is so high, his attack is low. His spell 1 is Force Strike, and his spell 2 is Fire Shot 2. Now, let's talk viability in exams. I'd give this card a B for floor exams, X for fire, and B for water. For skills, he's got Curse and Power Drain. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor Curse on foes for 2 turns. At level 5, it's Modest, and he also gets a minor Power Drain on foe for 1 turn. There's nothing on level 10, though. Also, he doesn't have anything on spell 2, so that's a thing. His buddies are Azul with a minor power boost, and Silver who gives him a modest HP boost. In order to Groovy Epel, you'll need to get him to level 30 and Vignette level 2. Grooving will cost 3 apple candy. He'll need 0 to 40 SR Awakening perfumes. You guys know the thing. It costs 10 perfume per uncapped level. If you have more copies, you need less of it. Yeah. Each spell needs 276 notepads, 253 textbooks, 31 grimoires. Spell 1 needs these in green items, and spell 2 needs red. In total, that's going to cost 290,200 thou marks. For him, I would definitely prioritize building spell 1 since it's got 2 skills on it, and also the skills are nice. Power Drain is a very common skill, but Curse is very, very nice. Okay, so alternatives to this Epel in case we have an Apple Palm Sebek situation on our hands. First up is Labware Vil. Same type, same spells, have Azul as a buddy. The one downside is that they have completely different skills. Next up is New Year's Attire Cater. They're both defense and they have the same spells. That's it though. Their buddies and skills are completely different. Yeah, I don't know why, but finding SR alternatives for Epel and Ortho was weird. I mean, I get Curse is fairly rare, but like, still though. For both SRs to be difficult to match is just weird, honestly. I don't know why it was such like a thing. Deuce is an SSR attack unit. His max HP is 9,977 and his max attack is 7,020. Deuce's attack is far above the SSR average and his HP is below average, and by quite a bit too. When I first spoke about this Deuce, he ranked 12th in highest attack in SSRs. That was 2 years ago, and now he's fallen significantly in ranking. He's now at 34, which isn't terrible, but it's still a decline. Like, his attack is still above average, which is really great. But yeah, not gonna lie, I was really, like, shocked reading back my subtitles and reading back that he was 12th, and I was like, oh, that... okay. His spell 1 is Flame Blast, his spell 2 is Leash Shot 2, and then Force Strike 2 after you build it, and his spell 3 is Water Shot 2. When it comes to exams, I'd give this card a B for floor exams, D for fire, and B for water. For skills, he's got damage boost twice. On spell 1 at level 1, he has a minor damage boost to caster for 1 turn, at level 5 it's modest, and at level 10 it maxes out at major. On spell 3, he starts with a minor damage boost to caster for 1 turn, at level 5 it's for 3 turns, and at level 10 it's modest for 3 turns. So at least there's some differences between those two, but admittedly kind of oof having this twice. His dual magic partner is Ortho, who gives him a modest power boost. His other buddies are Trey and Leona, both with a minor HP boost. You'll need to get this Deuce to level 40 and Vignette level 3 in order to groovy him. You'll also need 5 Spade Candy. As for uncapping, he'll need 0 to 12 SSR Awakening perfumes. Each uncap costs 3 perfume. To max out each spell, individually they need 351 notepads, 253 textbooks, 111 grimoires, and 380,000 Thalmarks. Spell 1 needs these in red items, Spell 2 needs green, and Spell 3 needs blue. In total, that's going to cost 954,000 Thalmarks. So I did give some alternative options for this Deuce last time I covered the rabbit costume cards, and overall, I still stand by what I said in that section and the choices I made, but now I have a few other options to discuss. Birthday Boy Idia is still a great alternative option for Deuce, as is Dorm Uniform Ace. Both of them are very close to rabbit costume Deuce. And Apprentice Chef Ruggy and Halloween Epel are still great budget options, but I would like to add 2 more suggestions in here. If you don't care about buddies, Ceremonial Robe Sebek is a fantastic choice since really, all he's lacking are buddies. I chose Ruggy over him the first time around because Ruggy did have 1 buddy in common, but if you aren't stressed about buddy bonuses, this Sebek is a solid budget option. Playful Attire Jack is also a nice budget option. He's an event freebie, which is great because you most likely have him lying around. He's attack, fire flora, and has damage boost. The only downsides are different buddies, and he doesn't have that double damage boost. He does have power boost though, and although it and damage boost aren't the same, close-ish enough. It's something, at least. My thoughts on this Deuce haven't changed all that much over the years. I still think he's a solid card, but admittedly, I can't think of anything super special about him. Except that, he is my son and I love him. His attack is nice, but his skills are super common. He has all of the elements in the element triangle, so although I wouldn't call him as flexible as Floyd could be, if you unlock that spell 3, there's quite a few places you can put this Deuce. And that's the rabbit costume cards. I would say that's all 5 of them, but frankly, it would not surprise me if we got more in the future, so I'm just going to try and future-proof this at least a little bit. But yeah, it was pretty interesting looking back and seeing how I used to do the videos and see what's changed and what hasn't. Before we go, I'd like to thank my ladyfingers in waiting who support me and allow me to continue to do this. A massive thank you to the current, right now, immediately February 14th, 2026 ladyfingers in waiting, Michgal2189, Omimi, Visa, Annette, Orion, Dorcas, Yungumo, Crabdill, Valentino, Lady Lunarine, Ukaku, Farafo, and Yozda Kiseki. Thank you guys, and I'm Kiryu, and I'm telepathically sending you a little snacky treat. If you'd like to become a ladyfinger in waiting yourself, I have memberships here on YouTube. Perks include getting videos early and, of course, the Thankies. If Twitch is more of your style, I have subs over there which get you exclusive live streams. And if you made it this far, thank you too. I hope this video has been helpful and you have a great rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. But yeah, goodbye everyone, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye!